our Prophet ﷺ stood up and gave a khutbah, and he said, "O husbands, it is not allowed for you to discipline your wives." So the Sharia came down and the commandment spread in the city. No man should physically discipline his wife. After a few days, some of the Sahaba complained. They said, "Ya Rasulullah, since you said that, such and such has happened and our wives are doing this and that, and what do we do now? You said no, what do we do?" So the hadith says, فَرَخَّصَ لَهُمْ. You can say he grudgingly conceded, like, okay, if that's the case, then go ahead and discipline them. He wasn't happy, but he let it happen. Hadith says, the next morning, more than 50 ladies, this is authentic hadith, read the seerah, more than 50 ladies gathered outside the house of the Prophet ﷺ, complaining that their husbands had beat them up, complaining that their husbands had abused them. One night, and they stand in front of the house of the Prophet ﷺ. What did he do? Did he say, "Be patient, ladies, don't worry, he has that right"? What did he do? He called all of the men of the city. He sent a crier out, "Come everybody, come." The men sat in the masjid. He came on the mimbar and he said, "Last night or this morning, 50 ladies complained to me about their husbands. Wallahi, those men, they are not the best of your men. They are not the best of your men." O men who want to justify your attitudes by misquoting a verse or misquoting a hadith, why don't you quote this hadith when the Prophet ﷺ said, "These are not the best of your men"? Oh men who want to abuse the Sharia in trying to justify abuse to your wife because this is an abuse of the Sharia, why don't you quote our mother Aisha in the hadith in Sahih Bukhari when she said, "Wallahi, the Prophet ﷺ never once raised his hand, neither to a lady nor to a child nor to a servant"? Why don't you quote that hadith that never once in his life did he discipline his women, and he was married to more than one woman? The real sunnah is to follow the Prophet ﷺ. And yes, sometimes back and forth happens, and sometimes you have to say something here and there, but there is no reason, no need to raise your hand or to emotionally or physically discipline. Try other tactics, my dear brothers and sisters. Try reconciliation, try other things, but there is no justification and there is no reason, and this is not the ma'ruf that Allah tells us to live upon. Treat your women kindly and nicely, and women as well, treat your husbands nicely, and this is what Allah Azza wa Jal has commanded us to do. May Allah bless me and you with and through the Quran, and may He make us of those who His verses they understand and applies halal and haram throughout our lifespan. I ask Allah's forgiveness, you as well ask, for He is the Ghafoor, the Rahman.